What's going on, everybody? It's Ryan Morgan here, back at it, founder of the Acquisition Network, going through the frequently asked questions. One that we often get on the calls, people ask, how does it work? So I'm going to break that down for you. That way you're fully prepared. You know exactly how it works. So you have all the information you need to make a decision if you decide if you want to work with this or not. So how does it work? What do we do? So we do three things primarily to help you get a deal done. Number one is we help you find a deal, right? So as a part of finding that deal, we do due diligence, right? And I'm going to go into the due diligence steps next. Next is we introduce you to lenders. We help you get approved for the financing. All right, this is a key step that most people are never able to do on their own, is getting the capital required to complete the transaction. And then the third step is the management. We help you run and grow the company using just an hour a week of your time. So step one, how do we find the deal? I made a video about this earlier, but the quick summary is we have a few ways that we get deals. We get deals through brokers. We get deals through marketing. We get deals through affiliate networks, right? We have people who just bring deals to us. All right, so when we have the deal, we do basic due diligence on them. What we do is we identify the profit, the revenues, the multiple, the margin, the debt service coverage ratio, the net cash flow, and like what that net cash flow outlines to you, and then also the operator. But before I go further, let me take a step back. When you get started, the first thing that we do is we sit down with you and we help you create an investment thesis outlining exactly what your background is, what your experiences are, what your resume says, how much you have in cash, credit, and asset value. Now, please do us a favor and be completely honest with us throughout this process, because we've had some clients who told us they had a certain amount of money, and then when it was time to close the deal, it wasn't the case, right? And so we want you to be honest with us so that we can give you the best deal and it doesn't make us look bad in front of the lenders, all right? So we sit down with you and we create the investment thesis based upon your assets, your experience, and your location. Our goal is to help you to find a business within an hour to 2 hours from wherever you are. That way you can freely visit that business on the weekend or whenever you have free time. You don't have to, however, have the business within 2 hours. We can run the business for you in anywhere in the country. One of my partners was running a 9-figure organization running multiple entities in 20 countries around the world. So anywhere in the United States, we can run the company for you. That's one thing that definitely holds a lot of people back from getting deals done faster, is like they're too picky about the location of the business. We can't create businesses for sale in your area. They're either there or they're not. So please have an open mind about where you want the business to be, because trust and believe we can manage it. We've got operators across the country. And like I said, we have people that have experience with running international organizations. So we sit down with you and we create your investment thesis. We develop your buy box, and then we take the deals that we find through that basic due diligence checklist that I just showed you. I'm going to make another video for you where I'm going to show you us demonstrating our deal evaluation calculator, where you actually can learn exactly how to do due diligence on your own, at least basic due diligence, to have an understanding of the STE and valuation. So after we have your buy box, after we source the deals, and after we vet the deals, then we go to the lending network. So when you subscribe, you'll have access to over 30 different lending options, debt, equity, private, and conventional. Okay, and so getting approved for the lending is a lot of work. You've got to structure the deal in a way that is profitable for the lender, and you also have to do the underwriting to make sure that the cash flow checks out on behalf of the deal, right? The lender's not going to fund the deal if they don't believe that the business can service the debt, and if you aren't a good credit partner, and if you don't have good operational experience. Now, this is a big reason why a lot of people give us the 20% equity, because we're able to add your resume to the buyer profile, which strengthens your presentation to the lender, making it easier for you to get approved. So this is a process that takes anywhere from 1 to 3, if not 4 months, is getting approved for the lending. Once you go back and forth with the lender, you get, before you go to the lender, you create an LOI. So like when we find a deal, we structure terms for that seller. We draft an LOI, which is basic understanding of what the deal is going to be. You take the LOI to the lender, and then they give you yes or no. Then you go back and forth on the underwriting. You change things. You have to ask the seller for additional information. They may ask you for additional information, which is why we need you to be as transparent with us as possible throughout the entire process. Once you have the LOI, you go to the lender, you go through the underwriting, and once they give the green light, they give you what's known as a commitment letter. That commitment letter is what you give to the seller, stating that the lender has approved to give the financing as requested and a projected timeline as to when the capital will be deployed. So then the deal gets done. Now it gets to the operating part. So throughout the due diligence process, we are evaluating the team. It's not just about the financials. It's not just about the marketing and the customer concentration. A big part of acquisitions is who are the people that are on the bus, and why should we bet on these people to make sure that the bus keeps running on schedule. And so, like I said, a big part of the due diligence process is evaluating the people and the team, which requires an on-site visit. There's some businesses that don't require an on-site visit, but there's many that do. And we're open and willing to do it for the businesses that make sense, that provide enough cash flow. So with that on-site visit, sometimes we'll go in as a customer and pretend not to have any idea that like we're a buyer. We don't want this. We don't want the employees to know that we're a buyer. Instead, we just like ask questions. We see how the company's running. We see who's, doing the jobs, and then we can come in as the buyer and ask like more detailed questions, speak to the general manager, and so on and so forth. So when the deal gets done, what we do is we create a very tight partnership with the general manager, and we give him a promotion. We often actually give some equity to that person to give them a vested interest and make sure that the company keeps running on schedule, making it easier for us to run the business. And then other than that, as far as operations, we don't like to come in and change a lot right away. We may put in some structure on reporting and accounting to make it easier to make financial decisions in the future. But for the most part, we leave it status quo. And what we do instead is we install vendors that make the company more profitable. That allows us to produce more cash flow, invest into our marketing, and make the business grow. So that's like a quick overview from start to finish of how it works. So once the business is being operated for you, your account manager that is taking you through the process is going to meet with you once a week for about an hour, outlining all the KPIs of the business, where we recommend that we move next with the business, how we can improve the valuation, and how we can prepare the business for exit. This is a big key part with acquisitions. A lot of people like the idea of just buying and holding, but the real money is made on the flip. Is you want to be able to acquire, stabilize, grow, and then being able to sell. That's where you make the most money. And I'm going to go over all of that in greater detail in another video, but I just wanted to outline how it all works. And I hope this gives you more confidence with our team and understanding exactly what you get when you decide to purchase our service. And if you're interested in learning more, feel free to reach out to one of our consultants or attend one of our bi-weekly meetings. We meet every 2 weeks on Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific, and we go over corporate updates outlining exactly how the platform is growing on your behalf. Schedule a free consultation today. The future of doing business is now. Don't get left behind.